Hi guys, happy Aphrodite Venus Day. I'm wearing my rose quartz earrings and my rose quartz bracelet. I just thought to do a video on how I discovered the path that I'm onto now, Greco-Roman-kmt, and just to talk about how I discovered it. I'm currently walking through Peace Park on my way to work this morning, so basically, to how I discovered Kemetichism, it was in 10th of March 2019. So I discovered Kemetichism. I was in Kemetichism for 3 years when I discovered the religion. And I'm just trying not to get other people in view because I don't want them to think that I'm filming them. And actually, I'm going to go quickly sit down on this bench here. So I was in Kemetichism for 3 years when I discovered the Greek religion, and during the last 2 years, well, the last year before I left, I ended up experiencing stuff that I generally felt in myself that I didn't really want to put up with. And it was during that time when I saw Aphrodite, Venus's altars go up on Amino, where I felt I was being pulled into all the love and beauty of everything, and it came at that right moment because I was going through really bad experiences. I wasn't experiencing deities that I was working with, and it was just ended up being such a huge catastrophe of a mess, and I generally didn't want to put up with it. So but I also didn't want to leave Kemetichism because obviously I didn't want that to kind of spoil, you know, the years that I was there before that happened. So I generally came across people who were Greco-Roman-kmt or Greco-Kemetic, and I spoke to someone about it, and she basically said that because that she didn't believe that you could be Greco-Roman-Kemetic, that I wasn't allowed to do it. And this was on another world religious page. It was all in Amino where it all happened. And so, and also was she quite rude, but she also kind of prevented me from going on the path that I wanted to go on, and placed me in another path which wasn't what I wanted. But because she didn't believe that you were able to be Greco-Roman-Kmetic, I wasn't able to follow that path because she didn't believe. So anyway, a long story short, I was reading Aphrodite Venus Pagan Portals book, and it was whilst I was reading that I felt the need to discover the Greek religion, and this was before I went Greco-Roman-Kmetic. So everything seems to be falling into Aphrodite Venus related. You know, it was me seeing all her altar pictures go up on Amino, where I felt I was being pulled into all the love and beauty and everything. Whether that is a legit reason to discover the Greek religion, but that's what happened. And then whilst I was reading Aphrodite Venus Pagan Portals book, I did feel the need to discover the Greek religion. And so I left Kemetichism when I was in there for 3 years, and I ended up discovering the Greek religion, and I went into Hellenic paganism. And I was in Hellenic paganism for a short while, and the experiences in there were absolutely terrible. They all revolved around stuff that I generally didn't want anything to do with. So I left and I moved into Hellenic polytheism, and again, experiences again of experiencing deities that I don't want to work with, which seems to be a constant thing every time I discover religions. You know, you can't seem to get away from it. and you know, and obviously other things that I generally don't want to put up with anyway. And you know, with the sort of person that I am, you know, I tend to really work with deities, because I use the term work for worship because of Christianity, but I'll speak about all that in another video. With the sort of person I am, because I'm quite a happy, optimistic, positive person, so I tend to kind of work with deities who also express that, you know, and obviously have something to do with the sea, but they also don't necessarily have any, they don't need to have something to do with my area either. It all depends on me personally which deity I feel drawn to, and it's mostly been Aphrodite, Venus. It's mostly been sea deities, but it isn't because that they have something to do with the area. It's who I've personally felt, but they just happen to have been sea deities and love deities and deities that know about single mothers, and so they generally have been them, but it hasn't been anything to do with the area to why it's how I've been personally felt, but they've just happened to have been associated with the area. So, but you can also work with deities that have completely remotely nothing to do with the area, because there's aspects about them that are all universal anyway, like marriage deities, love deities. It's all universal, so love is everywhere. And so I was working with Aphrodite Venus. I use the term work for worship, and I also did a meditation of hers as well, which was really nice. It was really calming, and I also, whilst I was on my Kemetic journey, my Greek journey, I ended up being interested in, because I'm a soft polytheist, so I ended up being interested in the Roman aspects of, so I ended up discovering the Roman religion, and I'm also working in the Roman religion, Coloris Flora, and she's most probably the only one I'm actually working within the Roman religion. And I'm also currently doing a diploma in the Roman religion as well, Roman mythology. I got 100% in module 3. Excuse me. I got 100% in module 3. So really happy about that. I just need to, there's like 11 modules altogether which I need to get around to completing, but with work and everything it's delaying time. And then I ended up going back into Kemeticism when I was in there for 3 years. I ended up doing a meditation, and Ampu came. I think there were times where I were missing Kemeticism, but then when I start remembering the memories of what happened because of the experiences that I was being put through, which I didn't want to experience, I ended up leaving, because I initially don't have to put up with something that I generally don't want to experience, so I left. But then Ampu knew that I was missing it, and I think Ampu knew that, so in the meditation he came, and he came at the time when I literally wasn't involved in Kemeticism, so I was like, right, I'm going to have to go back in, because he brought me back in because he knew that I was missing him. And that's the thing, the experiences were breaking everything apart, you know, and because they weren't the reasons why I was involved in Kemeticism in the first place. So I generally got back involved in Greco-Roman-kmt, the path that I wanted to be on from day one, which were it was someone who worked with Apollo said that it wasn't possible, and I actually left that site that woman was on, because I don't have to put up with being surrounded by rude people, so I left because I don't have to put up with it. So right now I've been doing a lot of meditation, especially revolving around deities and things, and then I ended up doing Titanic meditations, Titanic ambiances, which have been helping me with my sleep, because I also have been struggling with my sleep with these experiences I don't want to experience, which have been preventing me from getting the rest I need. So the Titanic ambiances have been helping, and also I fell asleep to an Aphrodite, goddess of love, and I ended up dreaming of roses, and then I ended up seeing her picture of her in the museum with Eros Cupid, and in my dream, and then I ended up with her name in my head. I think it was just to say that it was her, that picture was her. I think that's why I dreamt of her name. And so, yeah. So right now I can say I'm happy with my journey. I'm trying not to let experiences I don't want to experience start to affect everything. But this is basically where I am now. So it's kind of, yeah. It may not sound exciting, but there are reasons to why I left Kemetichism in the first place. I was in there for 3 years, and there's also reasons to why I went back, and with remaining the Greek and the Roman religion at the same time, which you can do. You can be involved in all three. They were doing it in ancient times, just as much as you can be a soft polytheist and a hard polytheist. You know, you can do what you want, you know, as long as if it is respectful and feels true to yourself, you can do what you want, because it's not initially harming anybody. It's your own path, your own rules, not anybody else's. So guys, I'm gonna have to go now because I'm on my way to bed, but I hope you have a lovely day, guys, and if you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.